So, the other day, I was hanging out with my friend, and she's an art major. So, uh, before we hung out, she took me to her school, and they were just in their classroom. They were all working on drawings, and I was just kind of there, with all of her art major friends. And we were listening to music, and I forget how, but suddenly Azalea Banks came up in conversation, and one of her friends said, I hate that Azalea Banks is such a bad person because I can't listen to her music, but every time, like a little snippet of one of her songs is accidentally played, it's like the most beautiful, ethereal thing I've ever heard. It sucks that she's a shitty person, so I can't listen to her. And I don't know anything about Azalea Banks. Apparently she's like racist or something. I don't know. But I said, actually, I think when someone's a terrible person, I think that makes the music better. I was ignored. So of course I chose to continue. I said, it's just kind of like if an artist is one of those people that are like, I love all my fans. Y'all are all my friends. Y'all are all like my family. I love you so much individually. I love who you are as a person. I just want to do right by my fans. Like, if an artist tries so hard to convince you that they love you individually and that they are this beautiful, perfect person that can do nothing wrong, I feel like that's how they get you. I feel like that's how they get you emotionally. And if you're already attached to someone emotionally, it's really easy to like the things they create. Like with a child. If you have a child and you love that child, and they draw you a drawing with these potato people and a sun in the corner, you're gonna think it's art. You're gonna think it's the best thing ever created because you love that child more than you love anything else. But if you hate someone, if you know they're a terrible person, if you can't fucking stand them, but you still love their music, I think that's saying something. I think if you, just an example, I don't know anything about her, if you love Ariana Grande and you think she's perfect and she can do no wrong in this world, then how can her music be bad? You're gonna love her music too. And I like a few Ariana Grande songs, don't get me wrong, but I feel like liking someone as a person is a crutch to liking what they create. So, if I can't fucking stand you, and I know you're a shitty person, but your music still goes, it's kinda like, bitch, fuck you. This is so good. What you created is so good. Fuck you. I hate you. You know what I mean? Everyone ignored me. And I was like, okay, maybe a room full of art students isn't the audience for this conversation. 'Cause I got nothing against art students. One of my best friends is an art student. I want to be an art student. I think that could be sick. But they tend to be more sensitive to others' emotions. They tend to not want to offend anyone, tend to be a little bit more morally righteous, not in a bad way. So I went home and I talked to my friend about it, and I was like, hey, if you like someone's music and you find out that they're a shitty person, does that make you like their music even more? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so I'm not the only one. And I think there's something wrong with me. I think for some reason this weird thing I have where I like someone more, or I like someone's music more if I hate them as a person, I think my brain takes it a little bit too far. 'Cause there are some artists where I would be devastated if I found out that they were actually a good person. Like Ronnie Radke. Ronnie Radke is so fucking funny to me. I listened to Dying Is Your Latest Fashion. I love that album. I listened to an embarrassing amount of Falling in Reverse's stuff. And Ronnie Radke is like known to be not a good person. Like, I cannot find it anywhere. If you can find it, please send it to me. But I swear it happened. Someday someone on Twitter took like a picture of a set list from Warped Tour, like in the late 2000s or the early 2010s. They took a set list from Warped Tour and they crossed out all the names of the bands that had scandals involving assault or attraction to younger people. More than half the list was crossed off. It was insane. And someone replied to it and said something like, I'm standing the right person, Ronnie Radke would never. And Ronnie Radke himself replied to this girl and said, Ronnie Radke would never do what exactly? Go on, I'm waiting. Dude, she's saying you're not a pedophile! How dare this fan of mine say that I have never raped anyone? How dare she? And like, he's been to prison, right? He went to prison for like helping with a murder or assaulting someone, something like that. And he's just I think he's beat a few of his girlfriends. He's just known for not being the best guy in the world. If I found out one day that somehow all of that was an act and he's actually like this amazing Samaritan who does all this charity work and cares so, like, if somehow he was the kindest person in the world, I would start not liking his music as much. 'Cause not liking him and knowing that his music is a little bit embarrassing to listen to, I think that adds to the fun. Like, you don't listen to Baby by Justin Bieber because it's the fucking Bohemian Rhapsody of its time. You listen to it because it's a little bit bad and it's a little bit cringy, but it still goes. That's how I feel about Ronnie Radke's music. And I thought that was the joke. I thought he was in on the joke, I was in on the joke, we were all in on the joke that his music is cringy, but that kind of makes it better. And then, so I'm liking songs like Sexy Drug and Good Girl, Bad Guy. So when he releases a song like Popular Monster or The Drug in Me Is You Reimagined, you're like, wait, is he fucking serious? Has it not been a joke this whole time? Is he for real? You know what I mean? Because his music is not ironic at all. This is like some TikTok shit, and he's taking it completely seriously. And I'm not a hater. It's definitely not my kind of music. But if that's what he wants to make it. But it's like, has he been serious this whole time? Is he not in on the joke? Because you see that video of him. I don't know if you've seen it, but he's like, he's performing. It's a concert, and he's like, "This is the hardest song we have ever written. This is the hardest song you will ever hear. If you have a baby or a small child, throw it in the pit right now." Like hyping this song up like it's about to be the craziest death metal shit you've ever heard. And then it's just and it's like, oh, he's kidding. It's funny. It's funny. And then he makes Popular Monster, and you're like,
I wake up every morning with my head up in a daze. I'm not sure if I should say this, fuck, I'll say.
is he serious? Was that not a joke? Like Lana Del Rey too. I love Lana. I love Lana's music. She's one of my favorite artists. But the more bad things I find out about her, the more I like it. I don't know why. I think I have a problem within myself or something. Same with Hyuna. If y'all don't know who Hyuna is, she's a K-pop artist. She's a very unique K-pop artist. She has found herself in a lot of unique situations. She has done a lot of things that other people were afraid to do. But lately, she's been in a controversy for basically thumping her old boyfriend who gave up everything for her, and recently dating someone who was in a huge sex crime scandal. And people are turning on her. People are so mad at Hyuna for not being a feminist or whatever it is, for not caring that this guy was in a sex scandal. And now that I'm finding out that she's a flawed human, that she's human, that she's not perfect and she's human, I like the music more. I like music more when it comes from humans and not marketing teams that are trying really, really hard to get me to like this artist. I like artists that are flawed, that make mistakes, that do bad things, that are like me. I'm not perfect. I'll never be able to be a Taylor Swift who their fans think can never do anything wrong, who is just the sweetest person in the world. I'm never gonna be that because I've made so many mistakes in my life. I get aggravated. Sometimes I'll accidentally take it out on someone and I feel so bad afterward, but if I was a celebrity, if I was topping the Billboard charts every week and I had a bad day and was a little bit aggravated and accidentally took it out on someone around me, they would eat me alive. If I made a mistake and chose to date someone that was a bad person, which a lot of us do. A lot of us make mistakes in dating and in love. A lot of us fall in love with the wrong people and there's nothing you can do about it. They would kill me. I would be killed because I'm not perfect. So for some reason, I love artists when I find out that they're not perfect. Actually, the more imperfect they are, the more I like them, because the more human they feel to me. They feel like someone I could know. I don't want to know someone that's like, oh, I love my fans, and they're gonna defend me no matter what I do because they think I'm a little angel. I'm not an angel. I make mistakes, and I like listening to people who aren't lying to me about who they are, you know what I mean? But there's also a flip side to that, because if I found out that... I don't know how to say this motherfucker's name. Hold on. I don't know how to say it. I call him Jose. I don't think it's pronounced Jose. If I found out one day that Jose wasn't a good person, I don't know what I'd do with myself. So, I don't know. I think I just realized that I think a little funky. I think about things in a funky way, and I don't know. I just realized that I love artists who are flawed as people, and a lot of people don't like that. So, please let me know if you feel the same way, or if you disagree, and why. Thank you so much for watching. Amen.